Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Did you like that video this morning where I whined? Well, hey, here's a counterpoint, all right? Here's a counterpoint. We have Wanderjar this time. He's coming in here, and he's absolutely getting screwed over by both his teammate and RNG. There we go. We got a shot into that did some damage. He's in his Kronvagnagen. He is anonymized. Wanderjar from Shire. This is a tier 10. Is it Swedish? Yes, I believe it is a Swedish heavy tank. Auto loader with the amazing turret. And he is active. He pushes on in here. So whilst I was whining about people being inactive last game, we have a very active Wanderjar. Look what's going on. Well, let me just leave that. I'm just going to leave that. I sort of gave it away, but we'll talk about what's going on elsewhere in just a moment. Wanderjar comes in here. This thing has a really fast reload for a 3-clip auto loader. Boom. They recently upgraded that thing and just thumps that poor WZ 111 5A. I mean, how many 5As do we have in here that are BB guys? Quite a few. We got 4, 2 on each side. So he pulls out of there, gets reloaded. Watch how fast this thing reloads the clip. Now this poor WZ comes over here and says, well, I guess I'll just go take care of this Wanderjar fella. Here we go. I'll just drive in here and I'll just definitely take care of him. No problem. Wanderjar goes, okay, there's a track for you. And there's a track for you. And one more track for you. Now, I think Wanderjar, as I was tracking him, I would have crept backwards each time I fired so that I could just come back around that corner and not let him shoot at me. But bad crew probably, and you may have ammo racked him, don't know, and boom, he misses. And he just sits there for a little while longer with his 400 hit points, wondering what just happened. See what happened now over on the west side? That's what I was talking about. Holy cow. Wanderjar's team was unlucky. He did put an angle on you right there. Wanderjar's team did not send anybody over to the west. Most of his team, to include a good portion of his mediums, are over here in the city. Now, I've not often seen this, and to a large extent, this is a recipe for disaster. But what also has not happened, that's usually happens, is enemy team really didn't put anybody in the city to sort of hold it. So Wanderjar's team is not pinned down in the city, and they're pretty much free to go where they want to. So we just kind of have a ring around the rosy going on here. They did put the 2 WZs in the super, and those guys died to the crowd, to the absolute mob of Wanderjar's team pushing in there. Just like the T-62 died to the mob that went over to the west side. And we, like I said, we have a kind of ring around the rosy. Now we're going to see parts of the map used that I have not often seen on this map. This is a very interesting situation, quite different from what you will normally see in the meta. And I think that's related to the content that I put out earlier today, where I was talking about, the metas are very locked down, and it is quite unusual for them to not be followed. Well, here's an example right here. An exception that helps prove the rule. I think this is a very unusual. I don't know how many real fights I've seen with this many guns left in the game in this part of the map. Isn't it interesting? We've got several guys hold down right here. One thing that is helping that happen is obviously the deployment and the way the thing went down to start with, and the fact that there's not a whole bunch of artillery. Now the enemy team does have an HMC. I do have to say one thing about Wanderjar in this. Is he invisible? I mean, now, he did engage guys, and guys were shooting at him, but he did drive around in the open quite a bit and did not really take any fire. You know what I'm saying? When he gets up and starts brawling, then yeah, some guys kind of see him and start shooting at him, but goodness gracious, he just wanders around with his invisibility cloak going on. And it looks like his team is in really good shape. They're up 6-3. They're over by the cap. They have a great big crowd back here that's gone back to cap. And this Kronwagen is absolutely dominating these hills over here. I mean, look at this. These guys are just bouncing off of them. Can't pin the turret. As long as he doesn't get the turret sideways to any of them, he's not really going to take any kind of damage. / maybe HE. And this 57 just wants to shoot his whole clip. He's just, this clip is awesome. I'm just going to keep shooting it. Yeah, baby. He takes 2 big hits. And the Karen bounces off of the turret yet again. I think I would have gone ahead and re-clipped right there. Forced to reload. Definitely time for that. There you go. One of the WZ BB guys just drives out into the open and starts getting hammered and lit on fire, and he's burning. It looks like he fixed it. maybe slightly unwise. I'm not really sure why you went here to challenge all these guys, especially that Progetto is going to come around and really want to take a piece of you. But you bounce the Cairn, and then you ignore the Progetto, and then the Progetto says, oh, you want to ignore me? I'm going to come around. It looks like we auto-aim him right there in a couple hits. And I think we just missed it. No, we don't take the shot. Definitely would have forced a reload right there, because the Progetto will be doing the same thing. Yeah, and that's what I'd be worried about. There's a Leopard over in that corner. Plus maybe the Sheridan, wherever he's got off to. And again, I think you needed to force that reload much sooner. I think you were probably worried that maybe the Progetto was going to push you, but the longer you let him reload, the more likely that's going to happen. And then we just shoot through his turret. That was awesome. Nicely done. Nicely done. T-57's kind of beat up. There's the Sheridan. Now, here's another move. Watch where Wander Jar goes here. This blew my mind as well. Just another place you never see used on this map. He's going to come across. I was thinking, now what are we doing? We're right out in the open. We can't go left because they'll just come out and kill. Oh, okay. We're going to go into the. We're going to go across the river right here, which I don't know if I've ever seen anyone in the river right there. I'd be super worried about that Leopard. It looks like Wander Jar is now as he sees it. He's going to try to creep forward here, but I think this is not going to work. At least for the Kron. I don't think the Kron can actually climb up out of that. He realizes that pretty quickly. And he's going to have to back up out of this. Now watch this. I didn't notice it earlier, but oh, there's somebody following him. Why is the Leopard following him? There's no telling, folks. There's no telling. They need to do is get up there and peel that T-57 and Sheridan out of there, but the Leopard's got a crossfire on him. And there's an artillery who has not taken a single shot at our hero. Not one shot that I remember anyway has gone after Wander Jar. So the Leopard is hanging out right there. And my dog is barking naturally. That guy is, no, he disappears. And again, just no shots coming back at him. Holy cow, man. I need this cloak. I need this cloak. I don't think the WZ saw him, obviously, or else he might have taken a shot. Plus, he was probably busy trying to live from the AMX and the Leopard. Leopard dies, but he's got a couple wounded ducks up here. This T-57 should go down quickly, right? We'll just come over here. We'll shoot him right in the side, and he's dead. Or we'll bounce off his turret, or whatever the heck just happened there. I like this as a wise move to go after the T-57. I don't know why the Sheridan didn't come at you. I'm assuming he was worried about the 268. 268 comes in here. He's a one shot to the Leopard. What is the Leopard doing? I don't know. He's going to take on the 268. Maybe his calculus is, I know that Kron's reloading, otherwise he'd be shooting me, and then guess what? I'm reloaded. Boom. Boom. Holy cow. Boom. That's 7,338 damage. He trolls up so that the T-92 can't splash him. Then we start to move. Wow. That was a highly unusual. What map is this? Minsk game. It really was a highly unusual Minsk match. Now sometimes you get that rope-a-dope, ring around the rosy, where one team goes more or less to one side and one team to the other side. But usually, if you win the field on this one, or you win the west side, you're in pretty good shape. But there are few players that went over into the city lost so badly and so quickly that they really didn't have the green forces pinned down in the city, so they didn't have much freedom of movement. And then once the green forces basically owned this whole city, and then were able to filter into this field and use these hold down spots, and plus had some guys up here covering the north so they couldn't come back around, but they were really in trouble. So that's probably one of the better counters that I've seen to a big push to the west that has won, largely on the fact that they killed the 3 or 4 in town, didn't take many losses, and weren't pinned down. So that was actually pretty cool. So thanks, Wander Jar. Really nice game. 7,338. Another ace tanker for you guys. Kind of a counterpoint to what I talked about this morning. It's not always campy and getting stuck in bushes, just most of the time. And here's a good example of when it's not. Thanks for tuning in. That's all I've got. We will see ya.